All Delac have heard the call of the Silent Ones echoing up from the depths of Necromunda, but few have ever journeyed to its source to see what is really down there and returned. Even within the Star Chamber, there are doubts such a feat is even possible, though Yagaloth's very existence would seem to prove it can be done. A living embodiment of the Psychoterica, Yagaloth is a shadow within the Underhive of Hive Primus, arriving suddenly to further the agendas of House Delac before vanishing just as swiftly. A true master of whispers, such is the power of the Psychoterica contained within Yagaloth, that the agent's half-heard words can break the minds of those who hear them, and the truth is but a fluid construct within the Whisperer's hands, shaped as Yagaloth sees fit. It is said that by manipulating the essence of the Psychoterica, he can even transcend his corporeal form, literally becoming nothing more than a shadow. Hello, and welcome to Wellywood Wargaming. My name is Damon, and this is the huge series where I give you bite-sized videos on every single Dramatis Personae and hired gun in the game of Necromunda. This one is an excellent one, I have to say, an absolute top-tier contender in this entire series with Yagaloth. But before I get into it, please do like, share, subscribe, and check out the Patreon as well if you'd like to support me further. Comment down below as well if you've used this guy in your games. I have. He's disgusting, and I'll tell you why. So Yagaloth is a Delac special character. Lovely bit of lore there. I find this guy very spooky indeed. He's only 120 credits as well, which is severely undercosted if you ask me, and that really does put him at the top of my sort of tier list when I come back into this. Delac only though, Yagaloth, the Master of Whispers. We've got some really cool artwork there. Very, very reminiscent of Doctor Doom from the Marvel Universe, if you ask me, which is partly why I like this guy so much. I'd love to convert a miniature and paint them up in Doom's colours as well, with the green and silver. I think that would be really cool. Someone has done a really good Yagaloth conversion in the Wellywood Wargaming Facebook page. If you haven't been a member of that, do join the Facebook page as well, because there's loads of cool stuff in there. So shout out to whoever it was, I can't remember your name, who's done a really good conversion of this guy and the Servant of the Silent Ones as well, which looked fucking great, by the way. Let's look at the stats though for Yagaloth. This guy is movement 5, weapon skill 3 up, ballistic skill 4 up. We've got a strength toughness of 3, average, 2 wounds, initiative 4 up, and attacks 2. So nothing too, nothing too spectacular with the stats, but nice all round. Mental stats though, we've got a leadership of 7, a cool of 4+, a willpower of 4+, and an intelligence of 5. So excellent mental stats on the last 3, particularly cool, willpower and intelligence. Willpower is the one that we're going to be using the most here because this guy certainly is a psyker. So in terms of skills, we come with Infiltrate. That's the only skill we get here, but Infiltrate is one of the best skills in the game. When you can use it, it's just fantastic. And he comes with a Psychoteric Blade as well, which is an interesting and unique weapon for Yagaloth, but it's certainly not game-changing. We've also got mesh armor and the respirator there as well, which is nice to have too. So again, nothing too fancy. We have Infiltrate, which is always great to have. Okay stats, okay weapon, okay armor and a respirator. However, the special rules are what make this guy shine, combined with his cost of 120 credits as well. He is an envoy of the Silent Ones. No credit bonus for captured or dead enemies after the battle, unlike normal bounty hunters. He will automatically leave after the battle and does not join subsequent battles for free. That's if you're using him as a standard bounty hunter. Of course, you could use him in other ways too, like making him an outcast leader, which I certainly would. He's also a creature of shadow. He is immune to attacks without strength, so toxin, gas, stuff like that. He also, if suffering a serious injury, this gets really good. If suffering a serious injury, he ignores the serious injury. He's removed from the battlefield and he returns in the end phase anywhere within 5 inches of a friendly fighter and at least 1 inch from an enemy. So he gets seriously injured, you take him off the battle and he returns as well. This guy was much more scary before you had the update to the rules with the flesh wounds and stuff. So this guy suddenly is not quite as strong as he was before. As you can imagine, before you got the flesh wounds for the subsequent serious injuries, this guy would have been very scary indeed. Now he's still amazing, but not quite as amazing because you're still stacking up those flesh wounds every time you get seriously injured. However, this guy's a psyker, as I mentioned, and he has 5 psychoteric weird powers from any discipline and you may choose. So I have to say here, arbitrators really do take this on board. Don't let people use this guy with generic weird powers from any discipline. I think he would be far too powerful. I mean, you can do that fine, but I just think it would be a little bit overboard if you gave him all the telepathy powers and stuff like that. You could certainly make this guy unbelievably frightening. However, I think restricting it to the psychoteric weird powers still makes him amazing. It's worth pointing out here as well, it does say from any discipline, so darkness, delusion, madness, or whatever they're called, you can take them from all three of those tables. And let's be honest, there are some clangers and some bangers in each of those lists, but I can already think of some ways to use this guy with real cleverness. I'm not the smartest guy when it comes to sort of like thinking about the most optimal combinations of these powers, but I'm pretty sure that many of you out there can think of 5 psychoteric weird powers that work together in unison to make this guy incredibly scary and impactful in your games. I love the fluff, I love the lore, I love the image of this guy, and 120 credits for a guy with 5 weird powers and infiltrate is fucking excellent. Now, if you make this guy an outcast leader, of course, this is where he really, really shines, because then you can upgrade him with more weird powers, more skills, and of course, better weapons as well as armor and whatnot too. Give him a falsehood. Give him a bunch of shit that makes him even more powerful, and yeah, hey presto, you've got Yagaloth just doing magic stuff around the table. I think this guy is certainly one of my favorites so far in this series. Very unique and very flavorful, and I really do hope to see your conversions and stuff. I'd like to know if you've used this guy in your games and how impactful he was. I have used him in games, and quite honestly, taking 5 psychoteric weird powers for me kind of gets a bit confusing, because you only end up using like 1 or 2 of them in a game perhaps. But yeah, it's a great one, and that's all I'm really going to say about Yagaloth for now, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace out.